What's up, guys? I just want to make a video of why I believe mental health is more important than physical health. And I definitely think they go hand in hand, but I think mental health has the upper edge. If you're not there mentally, you're not going to really be there physically as well. Um, but our physical body is important too. But when you're struggling with things and these things are inside your head, they can stop you from doing a lot of things because you're constantly thinking, right? And this is from all aspects of life, right? It could be you're struggling with mental health due to a medical condition that you recently found out about or had surgery for. It could be, your life, like what's going on around you, what's going on with your family, your friends, or even your situation at work, right? All these go hand in hand with your mental health. And being human, we go through these battles up and down where you know, we're constantly thinking about our life and looking at our life in a perspective and realizing that life is life. And we're all on our first round of life and we're all on our last round. So our mental health is something drastically important to us. This is something new to me as well. For the first time in my life, I really struggled with some mental health issues with depression. I never really had moments where I was super depressed, but recently I've been depressed, especially thinking about everything that's just going out in the world and stuff too, and also having to live with a medical condition that I lived for a few years now. Well, I lived with it all my life, but I discovered it in 2016. So I feel like that changed me as a person in many ways, right? I went through a pretty dark phase of depression when I found out that I had my medical condition, which is an arterial venous malformation, which is a really rare condition of blood vessels that are tangled. But so the surgery for that is kind of hard to do because it's in your head. And so I was overly stressed reading different things. Like, I feel like as soon as we find out something's wrong with us, we go right to Google and we just look it up and we get so consumed in it. Like, this is what it is. This is, oh, wait, maybe it could be this. Maybe it could be that. And we just get overly consumed with trying to find out all the answers right away when we need to take a step back and take things one thing at a time. And as I was going through the process of my medical journey, like, things got a lot better when I stopped thinking about it too much, even though it was very important. And one thing with that, me overthinking things was also a benefit to myself because it got me to get multiple opinions from different doctors. But yeah, during that time when I found out about my condition and having to go through treatment, I was pretty depressed and I was scared because I could have had a brain hemorrhage, and that's something, I had something wrong with inside my head that I have no control over. We have no control over. And some people who have this condition, they find out about it because it's similar to an aneurysm, and they find out about it because they have a hemorrhage and a stroke. So yeah, it's a lot to take in when either you find out about a medical condition or you're affected by a medical condition that you have no control over. But yeah, going on to mental health and why I feel it's important, because when you're in those stages of feeling down, I feel like it takes a toll on everything else that you're doing, right? What do you do when you're down? When you're depressed and thinking all the time, you tend to find yourself going right to the bed and just laying down and sleeping. And this happened to me recently. Sleeping a lot and, waking up and thinking a lot, and then you're like just thinking like, I'll probably just lay down and things will get better. I'm a relatively healthy person. I tend to watch what I eat. I work out as well. And, when my mental health was deteriorating, it fumbled all into my physical health, right? And it just made me become stuck inside my head and like not necessarily feeling hopeless, but like just feeling like just not inspired to do things that I enjoyed. And things that helped me out, things that really helped me out when I was in this phase. I'm still coming out of this phase. But one thing that really helped me out was going and speaking out about it. talking to my family or friends and telling them how I felt. I didn't know how much of an impact that would have by just, letting somebody know, because nobody knows what's going on inside your head besides you. Like, regardless of anything, nobody even knows you exist unless you speak out into existence, right? Like, people watching this video would never know I exist until I made this video, right? Besides my close friends and family. But speaking up about things, it's going to let people know how you feel inside. Nobody will ever know unless you say it. And so as I spoke up about, my health and my mental health, one of my friends told me about seeking therapy. I never did therapy before in my life, but all of a sudden, I took this into consideration. And what I did was, my friend did BetterHelp, and I'm not promoting this at all. I'm not saying to go out. I'm not sponsored by it. But they said to try BetterHelp, that you could do therapy at home, if that makes you more comfortable. And I did it. I tried it. I also, before I even did it, of course, because everything costs money, I was just looking up like the costs and reviews, and seen a lot of bad reviews. Just putting this out there. Seen a lot of bad reviews saying like their therapist wouldn't show up and things like that. But my experience, I still did it regardless of seeing bad reviews on YouTube, bad reviews online. I still did it, and because they had a good outcome with theirs, right? They found a good therapist and they really enjoyed it. So I was like, you know what? If this person tried it, what's the worst that could happen? I could just, cancel it. And the way I was feeling inside anyways, I was just feeling like I need to speak up about me in general. So I did that. I signed up for BetterHelp, and I was matched with a therapist that I feel like was really matched with me, and spoke to her about my problems. And she gave me a lot of advice, a lot of feedback, listened, and was just very supportive. And yeah, it really helped me out. I've been doing it for about a month now. And I feel like that was a big reason why my shift in my mental health has changed, was because I talked to somebody else, a specialist, who they also said you should also go seek in-person therapy too, because that's important too, right? Talking to somebody in person is, you get more out of it, right? Because now you see the reaction of their like body language, right? You see their body language, how they're doing things, but you see it all through a computer too when you're on the screen online. But yeah, in-person therapy is definitely something to do too. I haven't done it yet. I am going to sign up soon and just speak to a doctor, and just get help whenever something's bothering you, right? Some things that have been really helping me out when I've been down and stuff is just paying attention, speaking up on things, and then also paying attention to my sleeping habits and my eating habits. I feel sleep is very important, and without good, well rest, it's very hard to be in the right eager state of mind in the morning. Even though a lot of people, we wake up and man, I could lay down a little bit longer. But I started paying attention to my sleep. I took some melatonin to help when we sleep in, and then eventually I stopped taking it. So, you take melatonin and it helps ease your mind when you're trying to lay down to go to sleep. And it worked for me. It didn't like work instantly, but like I felt like my sleep was a nice deep sleep. And then I did it for about a week, and then I stopped doing it, and my sleep has been feeling pretty good right now. So I haven't been taking it. And then also my physical habits, to kind of help me out when I was constantly thinking and in that down state of mind. I would go outside and I would go for a walk. I would call somebody to go for a walk, or I'd go on a walk and just listen to a podcast or listen to some music. And it didn't even have to be for long, 15, 20 minutes, even less. It depends. But just going outside and getting some sunlight and getting some fresh air is something that adds, right? These are just a few points of why I think mental health is more important than physical health. Again, they go hand in hand, right, with each other, right? Because when you work out and you do things, like, you just feel good after you're doing it, right? Because you release all these endorphins and stuff from lifting weights, and just being around people, seeing people trying to better themselves. It doesn't matter what state they're in, right? I feel like when I first went to the gym, like, everybody's intimidated to go to the gym, just like anywhere else, right? When you go do something for the first time, you're always shy, um, and kind of feel uncomfortable. But once you realize that, like, at least with the gym aspect, like, most of the people there are there to just work on themselves and relieve some stress, and just there for the overall health, for the longevity of their life. Like, nobody's pointing fingers like, oh, look at that person, oh, look at that person. No, majority of the people, if anything, if they look at somebody who's new and comes in, they're looking at them as like, all right, well, that's motivation. Seeing somebody who, like, to me, really inspiring. Like, the other day I was in the gym and just seeing somebody working out who's in a wheelchair. Like, that says so much about their character. And that person probably almost would feel shy to be in the gym, but that person there, no, they were lifting weight and they were moving weight, and it was so inspiring to see. And everybody starts out somewhere. Anything that you've done, right? You play basketball, any sport, like, you're not good the first time you do it, right? Some people are naturally gifted and they become really good, but guess what? Everybody has the first time they dribble the ball, right? And it's not always perfect the first time, but you practice, and then sometimes you just have the natural gift of just excelling at it. But generally everybody, and guess what? The person who's good at basketball is not good at everything, We're all good at different things in our life, and it just feels good to do something, right? Playing basketball was one of my favorite sports. Am I going to be in the NBA? Never. Wouldn't even be close anyways when I was playing in high school. And that's just what it is. And it's just doing something because you enjoy it. And you can't enjoy something new if you never try it. So, yeah, I just want to talk a little about mental health. Maybe this could give somebody some clarity or some inspiration about doing things to help change things, right? Because nothing's going to change unless you put some type of effort into changing yourself. Yeah, this is a really good one to speak about, and hope to see you guys next time. Peace.